Hi everybody. This is not going to be a workout video, even though it's fairly obvious that I just finished one. I did this one, which was actually cut off in the last 10 or so seconds. It took me about 29 minutes and 15 seconds. If I want to change my camera from 1080 definition down to 720, then I could get 35 minutes out of it at a time, so that's something I'm going to have to do because it did cut me off. So if you go ahead and do this workout, I can give it a really quick explanation right now, and then if you come join me, and I would love you to, please come join me at Dream Bodies Gym. You can do this workout in real time with me. It is a pyramid, so we go up one side and then down the other. 2 reps, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then down again. It starts off deceivingly easy, it seems, and then right around 6 into 8, it starts getting really hard on a cardio level, and the muscles just burn. And then when you finally make it to 10, you're like, and it starts heading back down, and it stays difficult right till the very end. And there's complete beginner modifications and equipment modifications as well. So I used a sandbag and a step. One of my steps, that would be this. This is a step. You can usually get them for like 20 bucks with some risers at a sports store. So that's what I used. So what I did was a sandbag. You saw me do it in a video I made at Christmas time, like right before last Christmas. Used my sandbag, and it was staying low and putting it on one shoulder, taking a step back, and switching sides. You could do that without weight, obviously, or you can do it with, your gallon jugs of water or dumbbells. And then I did step jumps. So I actually started facing one way on the step and then straddled it, turned. So obviously you can do that on the floor. That was not weighted. Then I did step overs. I put my sandbag on my shoulders. So again, with or without weight, with or without a step. So if I'm using my right leg was in the middle of the step, okay? And the left leg steps to the side of the step, and then to a bikini step to the other side. So you're going to the side, up, and behind, up, okay? With or without weight. And then you switch to the other leg. And then I sat on my step and did extend the legs, twisting knee tucks, extend, twist. And the last exercise was simply step ups with a knee drive. So I drove the knee and then did the other leg. And let me tell you, it was worth the work. It was awesome. So anyway, now you know you can do that with or without equipment, with or without weight, and you can manipulate what kind of weight you're using. And if you just look around, I bet you can find some weight in the house. I like my sandbag because it's soft on my shoulders. But that is not the point of this video. The point of this video is I want to have a little bit of personal talk about things that people go through and why, like physical things that you can't control versus things you can control. I can control how much effort I put into exercise, and exercise has given me the means to get through intensely anxious or fear-provoking situations, situations that could hurl you into an abyss of depression, anxiety, fear, things like that. Okay, so what prompted me to make this is that recently everybody has issues that come up, things that you can't control. So we just touched on things you can control, how you can help yourself. And honestly, you're the one who's best suited to help yourself, okay? So a friend of mine said to me, shortly after we launched Dream Bodies, it's about 4 weeks after the video shoot for the promo video that's on the website, www.dreambodiesgym.com. She said, I don't have very many friends. So I think I can count on one hand how many friends I have, and this is one of my closest friends. She was actually my first personal training client in town here where I live. And she said, Renee, you look like you've gained weight since that promo vid. And I said, you're right, Kenya. I've gained about 3.5 pounds. And she said, why? What happened? What are you doing different? I said, well, I haven't been doing anything different, but as you know, I was diagnosed with Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune hyperthyroid condition back in 2003. and I received radioactive iodine treatment to essentially kill my thyroid, and now I have to take a hormone replacement every day, levothyroxine or Synthroid. I'm sure that thousands of you are familiar with what I'm talking about. That has to be monitored. So when I'm getting too much medicine, they bring me down. They give me less medicine. When I'm not getting enough medicine, they bring me up. Well, I knew it. I could tell shortly, about 4 weeks after that thing, I'm like, what is wrong here? I feel bloated, I'm lethargic, I'm gaining weight unexplainably. I don't understand what's going on. What do you mean what's going on? You've had this condition for 11 years, Renee. You know what's going on. So I went to the doctor and they checked, and indeed, was I ever too low on my medication. My thyroid stimulating hormone was through the roof. I was not getting enough hormone, not enough medication. I was like up at 5. And so those are things that you can't control, but you can control some aspects of them, like being responsible, visiting your healthcare practitioner, or taking intuitive steps to care for your body. Take the best care of your body you can, simply because you want to be around as long as you can for your children and your family, and because it serves you better that way. So that's one thing that I wanted to talk about, the difference between things that we seem to control and things that we can't control, and how exercise is just a constant in your life. You just keep doing it. So now what you'll see, you may have noticed it, super lean looking, going into for me, at exactly 5 feet tall, 3.5 pounds can look like 10 pounds on somebody else, because I'm only 5 feet tall. And I'm also an apple. I gain all my weight directly through the middle. So I don't know if you can see that. Plus my belly is a lot less tan than my arms and legs, so it can tend to look like I swallowed this little tiny bloat baby sometimes. And some of you are probably like, shut up, I'm going to reach out that camera and smack your face. But hey, leave it to your best friend to say, hi honey, you're looking a little. So there was that. And then also with the launch of this new website, it can attract quite a bit of attention. And sometimes it attracts negative attention. And some of that negative attention comes from people that you had in your life at one time, and that you've moved on. And those people can occasionally get a little bit rough on you. They can get a little vindictive. So the other part of this story was that, I don't know if you noticed, when I talk to you, I get very, very expressive, and some people just think I have big eyes. Well, actually, about 6 months after being given radioactive iodine for my thyroid Graves' disease, I developed what's called thyroid eye disease. So all of the muscles that move my eyes around became again, autoimmune. It's the self attacking the self. Started to get into a state of inflammation, and they remained in an active state of inflammation for about 5 years. And because of that active state, scar tissue starts to build up around them. The muscles themselves, instead of looking like nice thin little lines, become looking like almost pregnant worms, and they take up the space in your eye socket and start to push. My eyeballs like out of my face. It was painful and ghastly to look at. I pretty much wore sunglasses for 5 years. So I had a very successful treatment with a doctor that I care for, who did a wonderful job giving me an alternative treatment, and I allowed him to use my story and photos to help other people see how the efficacy of his treatment. I also had what's called a decompression surgery, where they went into my head and took out a bunch of bone, so that you have what's called the medial eye socket bone. The bones, so you have an eye socket, and in that eye socket is where the nerves and the muscles come through. So, and then you have fat behind your eyes. It's called orbital fat, and then your eyes. Well, they went in and they drilled holes between here and my face and took out some bone, and then holes over here and took out some bone. This is kind of gross. I don't want to get into detail, but either way, and then took out a bunch of orbital fat to make room for my eyes again, because the scar tissue that was on the muscle never goes away. So now I have this like super normal, nice eye, and I have this one eye that actually still sticks out 1 millimeter. So that's why it looks like all big sometimes. I notice it more than everyone else. But so there's been some comments about that on YouTube, and there's because people are just mean. They're just mean. And if they see you doing something that's healthy and life-affirming for yourself, they can sometimes just be mean. But again, let's go back to the fact that you never give up, you never give in, you never let somebody put their foot on your head and hold you down. You just take that foot, pull them into the water, and you swim away happy and free, swim, swim, swim. And you do your thing, and now I sound dorky, and for love of God, keep exercising, because it's awesome, and I wanted to share that little bit of, because I can't see you, but you can see me, and life is the same for all of us. There's ups, there's downs, there's fears, there's hopes, there's hurts, there's happies, and I would love to hear you guys' stories and ask me anything, anytime, and I will be glad to communicate with you. And I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and I hope I didn't take up too much time. If I am taking up too much of your time, you probably shut me off already by now. So I love you. Oh, and by the way, let's watch. Now that they adjusted my medication again to give me more medication, I should drop those 3 pounds again. But what I'm not going to do is cover up and pretend that things don't happen and hide things from you guys, because this is my dream body at 44 years old. I'm going to be 45 in February, and I also had a C-section, ladies. So regardless of whether I'm struggling with my medical conditions, my life, I'm always working. I'm strong. I'll never give up until something makes me give up, like the inevitable death of the body. So until then,